The crows are crowing. I think it was my last video that it was a raven that was going by. Or maybe it was a crow, but we are really getting into the spooky, oopy, poopy vibes of it all. Hi, cozy friends. We are in Washington State. We just moved to the new house. So we've been here for about a week now and getting settled, getting comfy, getting cozy. It's crisp. There are leaves. They are changing. The vibes are good. The vibes are very good. And I have this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, mystical, magical tree behind me. I'm pretty sure that she's a maple, so she's going to be gorgeous once the leaves fully start changing. Right now, it's just some of them that are changing, but look at this! Look at this! I just love fall. I love autumn. We have the autumn equinox coming up soon as well, which I'm very excited about. And I think that autumn comes to prepare us for winter and for that hibernation period. And the last time that I went into my hibernation period, it was quite a wild ride for me. I will say that much. It was quite a wild ride. And I think that one of the reasons that it was such a wild and feral and at times terrifying ride was because I began to confront my dragon within. I think that a lot of the times in mythology and folklore and just stories in general, even with mainstream Hollywood nowadays, when there's a dragon in the movie, a lot of the times the main character, the heroine, the hero is expected to slay the dragon. And I remember the first time I confronted my own inner dragon and that darker side of myself. And I just remember going and looking it in the eye and just screaming ferally at it. And I was so terrified. And I think that a lot of the times we don't wish to confront that aspect of ourselves. We don't want to look at the dark, the dirty, the secretive. We want to suppress it and not acknowledge it. But I really began seeing it as this inner dragon within me. And I think that bringing it into this kind of like mythological way of thinking helped to digest that aspect of myself more, because I had an actual image of it. I have a character to place to it. And I think the dragons are so mystical, magical, wonderful. And so it brought this lightness to this integration that I was going through. And I think that in beginning to befriend these aspects of ourself, it is us choosing wonder and curiosity rather than bloodlust and fear. It is us choosing to come to the table with questions and with a curiosity to understand and to see them for what they truly are. I think that is an invitation to see us for what we truly are. We are so nuanced and so complex and so multifaceted and so rich in experience and feelings and thoughts. And when we go and we ignore these other aspects of ourselves, we are not truly embodying the full human experience to its fullest. There's so much history in trying to suppress aspects of ourselves because they scare us. And when we look at the dragon on the surface, it seems scary. It seems intimidating, but it is just a creature. It is just a wild creature that wishes to be befriended and wishes to be seen and to be heard and to have a space held for it. We have to start somewhere, and we have to start small, even if it is just approaching the dragon and offering it a flower, offering it this sense of, hey, can we make this work? Do we have to be fighting all the time? Does it have to be this idea that I have to conquer you? And more often than not, it's going to respond to you and say, I never wanted that to begin with. I never wanted this battle. I never wanted this disintegration. I just wanted to be seen, and I just wanted to be heard. And you are capable of doing that. You are capable of integrating those parts of yourself. And I think that when we are doing this, we must be sure to be present, and we must be sure to hold gratitude and fill our cup, because it can be draining to go deep. I think that sometimes people go too deep too fast. And sometimes that's necessary because we have to learn our capacity. I definitely did that. My last hibernation period, I went a little bit too deep too fast. And I had a little bit of a diva moment because it was a lot and it was a bit overwhelming. But I came out of it. And when we come out of it, we learn. Sometimes we have to go into that deep, dark, cavernous cave in order to come out with the wisdom that we have gleaned. But I still made sure that I was doing things that filled my cup, even though I was having this moment of deep, deep integration and wisdom that was coming forth. So I was still going and baking chocolate chip cookies. I was still going and taking yummy, scrumptious baths. I was lighting candles every single night. I was journaling to myself. I was getting out of the house. I was going and spending time in nature. And I think that you have to be sure to do all of these things as you are integrating, because it can be a very intimidating process. That is a huge beast that has turned into something that it never wished to become in the first place. And it is a process to begin befriending that aspect of yourself and to begin accepting that aspect of yourself. And I think that we must be sure to hold presence in the process of doing so, and to spend time in nature and to stay as grounded as possible. But it is so worth it, because again, what greater guardian to have than those monsters that have scared you for so long? What if those monsters that have been so scary to you just wish to be on your side all along and just wish to cheer you on all along? And I think that when we remember that, it is this great remembrance of we do not have to battle, and we can lay down our swords. It's like this battlefield that we find ourselves on constantly on a day-to-day basis internally. Everything around us looks fine, but internally, everybody is constantly in this fight with themselves. And when you are constantly in this stage of discourse within, internally, it's impossible for you to move forward. And the secret ingredient to it is making peace. And when you look historically, yes, we have been battling and going to war for so long, but what has it done? It has not done any good. It has only seeded a deeper sense of mistrust in this society of us versus them. If you look at the world and the planet, it is all us versus them. It is all these boundary lines and these countries and this sense of we must defend ourselves and we must go to war for ourselves. And I don't think that we need to do that anymore. I think that it is time that we begin offering a cup of tea and we begin offering a bouquet of flowers. And I know that that may sound naive, but we have to start somewhere. And I think that somewhere is here. Everybody has this nuance within them of the light and of the dark. The light cannot exist without the dark, and the dark cannot exist without the light. These energies exist in the collective, but also within us. And when we go and we suppress those aspects of ourselves, we're not truly embodying who we are at our core, which is a multifaceted, nuanced human being, is a nuanced soul that has complexities and richness and this dark and this light. And I think that when we go so long suppressing those darker aspects of ourselves, we're not living fully embodied. And to live a fully embodied life, you have to learn how to accept the parts of yourself that scare you, that you don't want to look at, that are icky and feel grimy when you think about it, because it's like, ooh, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to deal with that. That's an aspect of myself that I don't wish to bring forth. But in order to heal those aspects of ourselves, we have to accept those aspects of ourselves. And in order to accept those aspects of ourselves, we have to integrate them. And I think that collectively in this society, when we have feelings that are uncomfortable, discomfort, uncertainty, fear, doubt, insecurity, envy, jealousy, all of these different things, we view it as something bad, and we view it as something that we must rid ourselves of. And of course, as we are viewing it as bad, shame begins to trickle in. And when shame comes forth, that's when we just become so suffocated with this idea that these thoughts are wrong, that you are wrong, that why would I be thinking these things? Why am I feeling these things? And I don't think that we speak about enough the fact that all of these thoughts, all of these feelings are normal, and they are meant to be integrated. And the reason that we are having these thoughts, these feelings, these desires, these things that we don't feel comfortable bringing up to people around us is because we are meant to view it as an invitation for expansion. And we are meant to view it as a way to heal and to help merge this light and this dark. Because these energies exist in the collective, and us as souls carry them within us so that we can integrate it. And in you integrating, you are doing the work internally, and that is going to have a ripple effect externally. And in you carrying all of these messy, yucky, dirty feelings, you are in a way being a light worker by beginning to accept these things and truly alchemize them for what they are. And what they truly are is a darkness that is in search of light. And you are here to help bring a light to that darkness and to help bring a light to those feelings and to that dragon-like quality of this intimidating creature that just wants to be seen and just wants to be heard. And shame is one of the lowest vibrational ways to exist. Shame is this discomfort of not feeling that you are right. It is that you are wrong, and that there's something innately rotting within you. And I think that when we carry that rot and we carry that yucky feeling, it begins to eat us alive, because we view these thoughts and we view this darkness as something that needs to be banished. But what if we were to say it doesn't need to be banished? It just needs to be loved. And it just needs to be accepted. And I think that for a lot of people that's really hard, because who would want to accept all of these yucky feelings that in a way feels counterproductive, right? And you may think to yourself, well, you don't know what my feelings are. My thoughts are bad, bad, bad. I think that on the surface, yes, it can seem weird. It can seem yucky. It can seem like your bad thoughts and your shame is 10 times worse than the people around you. But let me stop you there, because I'm in the process of doing it, and I'm in the process of truly integrating and truly healing these parts of myself. And let me tell you, my thoughts and my dreams are weird. Like, if you were to have a list of bad things to integrate, mine would be at the tippy top. And a big part of that is because I have OCD, and I have intrusive thoughts, and I have gruesome intrusive thoughts and sexual intrusive thoughts. And these are all things that are really, really hard to accept and to learn to love and to learn to integrate. But if I can do it, then you can do it too. Because all we are being asked to do is to heal these aspects and these energies in the world that exist. And we are strong enough to be able to do that. And you are strong enough to be able to do that. And you may not view it as a dragon. You may view it as whatever it is that comes to your mind's eye. All that these feelings and these thoughts and this discomfort is asking of us is to truly sit with it and allow it the space to heal. Because when we shove it away, when we pretend that it does not exist, it's just suppressing. We may think that we are on top of it because we are suppressing it, but then we have physical ailments that manifest from it because we are holding it so deeply within us. I have an autoimmune disease. I have a heart condition. I have a lot of physical ailments and physical issues that I'm beginning to heal now that I have realized that there are these parts of myself that have been ignored for so long. And I think that for so long, I suppressed those thoughts, I suppressed those feelings. I got on top of my OCD because I just pushed it away into a corner in my head. And when I truly began to sit with it and listen to it and give it the space to heal, that was when true alchemization came into effect. Because when we give it the space to heal, We give it the space to turn into something else, because all of these aspects of ourself are parts within us that became sour at some point in our childhood as a way to protect us. It's like in Beauty and the Beast. You start off with this young, handsome prince that then turns into this bitter, angry, sour beast. And it was through love that brought him back, because he was given the space to be seen, not just to be perceived, but to be truly seen for who he was at his core, which was someone that was just in search of love. And these parts of ourselves are just these little wild creatures within us that are in search of us to truly see them and to truly love them and give them that unconditional love and acceptance that they've just been searching for all along. And when we banish them, and when we try to fight with them, and when we try to see them as something that is separate from us, then it becomes a little bit tricky, because then they just continue to go into this spiral of morphing into something even uglier and even more bitter and even more sour. But at their core, they just wish to be seen. And you are the only one that can do that for them and can do that for yourself. Whether it's a dragon within you, whether there's that meme of I have two wolves that live inside me, a white wolf and a black wolf, whether it be the two wolves that live inside you, or maybe it's some other fantastical beast that you envision it as, or maybe you just see it as a character that comes to your mind's eye from a TV show that you want to place to it. Like, I don't care what it is that you envision it as, but I think that in envisioning it as something, it helps to bring this sense of intimacy to it, where you can actually sit with whatever it is that is coming forth for you to be healed and to be seen, versus it just being this weird liminal idea in your head. I think that giving it a name, giving it a character, giving it something that holds some sort of ground that you can sit with can be really, really transformational when it comes to healing those parts of yourself. I think that when we walk around ignoring these aspects of ourselves, we are a distorted version of ourself. And there's this quote by Norman Cousins, and he says, "Integration is a basic law of life. When we resist it, disintegration is the natural result, both inside and outside of us. Thus we come to the concept of harmony through integration." And in him saying both inside and outside of us, our internal landscape is going to affect and mirror back to us our external landscape. If we are living disintegrated, then the world around us and how we perceive it is going to be through a lens of distortion. And when we truly integrate and we truly begin to walk in alignment and accept all parts of ourselves, it truly and radically changes the way in which we view the world around us. We can help others to live fully embodied lives by doing the internal work within ourselves. I think that a lot of the times I come out here and I make these YouTube videos, or I write on my Substack, or I'm working on my novel, and it's so easy to go and see that nobody is seeing these videos. Not that many people do watch my videos or read my Substack. My book is not published yet. And I ask myself, am I even helping? Am I even doing anything? And sometimes the only work that you truly need to be doing is the work that you are doing internally. Because in you doing the work internally, you are affecting the world around you externally. And sometimes we have these hibernation periods to help bring that to fruition so that we can then come to hold whatever it is that we're bringing forth in this life afterwards. Because in me going and seeing that nobody's watching these videos, it's easy for me to become bitter and it's easy for me to become sour. And I think that sometimes when people feel those feelings, they don't wish to sit with the discomfort. They don't wish to sit with those aspects of themselves that they don't like to see, that they don't like to feel. And then you go and you look at other people that are doing great, that post one video and they blow up overnight. And then there comes that envy and that jealousy, and it can turn into this period of stagnation for you, or you just give up altogether because it's too much. The feelings are too much. The discomfort is too much. But I think that we need to start seeing it as an invitation for expansion and as an invitation for alchemization in its purest and rawest form. Because in us sitting with that and accepting those parts of ourselves, we are beginning to heal these wounds that have been festering within us for so long and have been festering in the collective for so long. If you think about anybody who is starting an endeavor, if they don't see that success right away, think about the amount of people that shelve projects and decide to stop because they don't see the success and they don't realize that they are going through this purification process. And you must be patient with yourself and you must hold grace for yourself. And I think that patience and grace are two of our biggest sidekicks when it comes to integration, because we're going to have good days and we're going to have bad days. And in integrating, it's going to bring forth feelings that we may not want to feel. But you can truly drop into your heart and truly drop into your body during those times. And you don't have to be stuck up here when you are feeling those things. You can drop into here and truly feel and truly accept and truly surrender to all of these things that are bubbling to the surface, because for so long they have been suppressed. When we go and we look up pictures of dragons, we see the heroes up against them, right? We see this beast looming in the distance as it bares its teeth to the hero or the heroine, and them raising their swords, ready to go to battle. And I think that flipping the script and viewing it as pictures of a girl sitting with her dragon and sharing a cup of tea, or going and sitting underneath a tree as the dragon snakes through the branches and takes a nap on its limbs as the girl sits and reads a book. I think that flipping that script and starting to view it as these creatures that we can come to befriend. And I think that sometimes when we first begin to confront those aspects of ourselves, it does feel like that girl or that guy standing before the terrible, horrifying, scary creature that is baring its teeth at you, its hot breath coming onto your face as you draw your sword and you are ready to go to battle. It can feel like that at times. But what if you were to put your sword on the ground and to ask it, what is it that you need? What do you want? Are you okay? What can I do to help? I think that when we do those things, it flips this idea in our head into a true, powerful, healing, cathartic moment that for so long we have become wary and we've become tired because we've put on this armor that is not meant to exist. We are not meant to carry this weight on our shoulders. We are meant to come to the table as a friend, to share a cup of tea. Imagine sharing a cup of tea with all of your inner demons. Imagine sitting and holding space with them and holding reverence for them, for what they invite you to do. And what they're inviting you to do is to fully integrate and to fully embody who you are as a soul on this planet. I wish to pat my inner monsters on the head. I do not wish to slay them. I wish to sit by a comfy fireplace as a dragon toasts my cup of tea that has gone cold. Like, I wish for the comfy, cozy, wonderful, amazing, magnificent vibes that can come with befriending our inner monsters. And again, at first it may be scary. They may seem huge and they may loom in the distance, but it is a process of beginning to let down your barriers and beginning to take off your armor to again see them for what they truly are, which is a creature that just wishes to be loved and wishes to be seen. And only you can do that for them. And in doing that for them, you are doing it for yourself, because in doing this, you are truly beginning to heal. It is not about suppressing. It is not about conquering. It is not about slaying. It is about love. Unconditional, unbridled, mystical, magical, wonderful, beautiful love at its core. Instead of going to war with these creatures, might we instead offer them a cup of tea? When we begin doing this, we are shifting this worldview that humans have on war itself. Like, war is so prevalent in this world right now. I don't want to talk about politics that much, but the administration in the United States just changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And I feel like that is just so disintegrated. It really is. It is very disintegrated. When we look at human beings historically, that is how we have always solved our issues or our problems. We have gone to war over it, and we have fought over it, and we have gone to battle, and it always has been about death and this bloodlust to conquer and to slay and to come out on top, to win, right? To succeed, to have the glory of succeeding in battle. And I think that that idea exists within us subconsciously and collectively as just being souls on this earth, because our history as humans on this earth is so riddled with bloodshed and with war and with conquering. And I don't think that we need to do that anymore. I think that it is time for us to lay down our swords and to rip off this armor that we were never meant to wear to begin with, and to begin receiving a sense of respect when it comes to the people, the ideas, the ideologies, the monsters within us that ask us to sit and have a conversation. I really hope that in us doing this work internally and beginning to choose peace rather than war, that is going to have this ripple effect externally in the collective that holds war so close. And I think that right now, with the Department of Defense being changed into the Department of War, there is not a better time to begin healing these aspects that exist within us all, whether we want to admit it or not. So if you get anything from this video, let it be to invite your inner demons or your inner monsters in for a cup of tea. Or if you're not comfortable with having them in your house yet, go and build a fire and invite them by the fireside. Make some soup and offer them some soup. It can be scary, it can be intimidating, but it is so worth it. So that's my rant for today. I appreciate you staying by my own little fireside here on the internet, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you got something from it, and I hope that your inner monsters and your inner dragons or your inner demons are listening with you right now and saying, she's on to something. Maybe listen to her. Anyways, thank you, friends, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Look at her. She is gorgeous. She is beautiful. She is magical. She is wonderful. She is everything that I could ask for in a tree. All right, bye, bitch.